Welcome to the CATIA tutorial Assembly Design Workbench and Constraints toolbar. You will learn how to use the quick constraint, fixed together, and flexible rigid subassembly. Quick constraint creates constraints by a priority list in this order: surface, coincidence, offset, angle, and parallelism. This tool should only be used when the constraints are easily identifiable, such as cylindrical objects and holes, or two objects to be placed surface by surface. We begin by selecting the quick constraint icon and the objects to be constrained. As you can see in your specification tree, a coincidence is formed between the guide pillar and bush. We will then apply the same constraint between the pillar and a hole in the base. Next, we will apply a coincidence constraint between the top surface of the guide pillar and the top surface of the guide bush so that they are flush. Quick constraint applies a surface constraint, so we have to manually change it to coincidence. To do this, choose the Change Constraint icon, select Coincidence, and change the direction of the constraint to be the same. Fixed together is an easy way to group parts without creating a subassembly. It allows you to move a group of objects by selecting and moving only one. We begin by selecting the Fixed Together icon and renaming the constraint for good data management. Select the two or more parts to be included in the fixed group. Notice that when the assembly is updated, the Fixed Together maintains the constraints already in place. From this point, you can continue to constrain your parts as if they were separate. The default settings in CATIA do not have Fixed Together as an active constraint. You must go to Options, Mechanical Design, Assembly, General, and select Always to activate Fixed Together.
Flexible rigid subassembly allows independent or fixed components within a subassembly. To see how this command works, let's create a new product and name it Pillar and Bush. Now, drag the unconstrained pillar and bush into this new product. Then, activate product 1 and move either the pillar or the bush and see how these two components move together as one entity. Double-click on pillar and bush to activate it. Apply coincident constraint on the pillar and the bush. Now, let's move the pillar within the x-axis, and notice that while dragging the pillar away, the bush stays. However, when we activate product 1 and drag the pillar away, the bush is being dragged along. The two components act as one entity. Let's see what's going to happen if we apply the flexible rigid subassembly command. Click on the command and click on the pillar and bush product. The window that comes out tells us that by making this product rigid, we are also making those two components rigid. Click OK to confirm. Let's see what happens when we move the already constrained component. Both are moving together. Let's see what happens when we move the already constrained component. Both are moving together. Now we know how to use the three tools that we just discussed. Let's apply them to complete the assembly. When we are done with the assembly, we want to make sure that our components are all properly constrained. Go to Analyze and click on Constraints. We will see the status of all the constraints applied. We may not see what's wrong exactly with the assembly, so to further confirm, explode the part by clicking on the Explode command and then click Update to visually assess correctness. If nothing goes wrong, then go ahead and save the assembled parts by Save Management. We wish you the best of luck.